Have you ever faced a narcissist? Are you curious about their response when challenged? In this video, we explore what narcissists tend to do when they meet their match. Get ready for insights into narcissistic behavior, akin to a psychological chess game. 1. Narcissists launch personal attacks against their opponents. Instead of tackling the actual points or ideas brought up in a discussion, they have this habit of going personal. It's like their go-to move in a verbal showdown. Imagine you're debating with a narcissist about the best pizza toppings. Instead of discussing the merits of pepperoni versus pineapple, they might start throwing personal shade at you. They could say something like, "Well, your taste in pizza is just as bad as your fashion sense." It's a diversion tactic. Narcissists are trying to shift the focus away from the actual topic and make it all about their opponents and their supposed flaws. It's like a magician using smoke and mirrors to distract you from what's happening. So, when narcissists debate with you, keep calm, stick to your points, and don't take their passive-aggressive remarks too seriously. They're just trying to throw you off balance. Stay focused on the real issues, and you'll have a better chance of coming out on top. 2. Narcissists will attempt to diminish the strengths of their opponents. Narcissists try to make the other person seem smaller, less important, or like their achievements don't matter. They want to deflate the other person's confidence or make them doubt themselves. Suppose you're arguing with a narcissist and mention something cool you've achieved or a strength you have. Instead of saying, "Wow, that's impressive," they might say something like, "Oh, that's no big deal. I've done way better things." They try to steal your thunder. It's a way for them to feel superior and in control, even if it means putting down someone else. 3. Narcissists will maintain control over their opponents at any expense. First off, narcissists are known for their need to be in control. They want to be the center of attention, have things their way, and feel superior to others. It's like they have this constant craving for admiration and power. When a narcissist encounters a strong opponent, it can be like a threat to their self-esteem. Narcissists see this person as a risk to their sense of superiority. They might manipulate, put others down, or even become overly defensive. They're willing to do whatever it takes, no matter how unfair or hurtful it might be to others, just to maintain that control and avoid feeling inferior. 4. Narcissists will play the game of blame shifting. Instead of admitting they might be wrong or not the best at something, narcissists often resort to pointing fingers at their opponents. It's like a defense mechanism for their ego. They'll say, "I didn't mess up, it's your fault," or "You're just jealous of my greatness." They're shifting the blame to avoid looking bad themselves. When they face someone who's a tough cookie or threatens their self-image, this blaming game kicks into high gear. They can't handle the idea of someone else being better or wiser than them, so they react by trying to make the other person look bad. Hey there, viewers. Surprisingly, 80% of you haven't subscribed yet. If you're enjoying this educational video, please subscribe and hit that thumbs up button. Your support helps us a lot. Now, let's keep going, shall we? 5. Narcissists will discover methods to rally others against their opponents. Narcissists will try to ruin their opponents' reputations to gain leverage or the upper hand. It's like they're playing a mind game. They might say things behind the opponent's back or manipulate situations to make the opponent look bad in front of others. It's all about making themselves look better, and their opponent looks worse. They want to be the hero and make everyone think they're the right one. It's not a very fair or honest way to deal with conflicts, but that's how some narcissists operate. 6. Narcissists may threaten their opponents through physical or emotional harm. When narcissists face someone standing their ground or challenging them, they often resort to threats. These threats can take two forms: physical and emotional harm. Physical harm means they might try to intimidate or physically hurt the person opposing them. For example, they might make aggressive gestures or even get in your space. Emotional harm is more about playing with your feelings. They might say hurtful things, criticize you, or manipulate your emotions to make you doubt yourself. They're trying to gain control over the situation by making the other person feel scared, powerless, or inferior. 7. Narcissists will scheme to seek revenge against their opponents. Narcissists might start thinking about revenge when they encounter a strong opponent. Retaliation can take many forms, like embarrassing their opponent, spreading rumors, or even trying to make their life difficult. It's like they're thinking, "You dared to challenge me? I'll show you." But it's not a healthy or productive way to deal with conflict. Instead of trying to work things out or learn from the challenge, they focus on getting back at their opponent. So, if you're confronting a narcissist, remember that their need for revenge is often a sign of insecurity and inability to handle criticism or competition well. It's best to approach such situations cautiously and maybe even seek help from a professional if things get too messy. 8. Narcissists will play the game of denial. Narcissists have this habit of refusing to admit their faults or weaknesses, especially when facing a strong opponent. Think of it like a chess game. Imagine playing against a skilled opponent and making good moves threatening their pieces. Instead of acknowledging they might be in a tough spot, narcissists might act like nothing's wrong. They'll pretend they're still winning or that your moves don't affect them. It's like a defense mechanism for them. They don't want to appear vulnerable or less than perfect, so they deny any wrongdoing or weakness, even when it's clear to everyone else that they're not invincible. 9. Narcissists will deliberately incite their opponents to provocation. Narcissists might say or do things to provoke a reaction when encountering a strong opponent. It could be anything from making sarcastic remarks to deliberately pushing their opponent's buttons. They hope doing this will distract their rivals, make them lose their cool, and ultimately gain the upper hand. It's like a psychological power play for them. They want to see if they can control the situation and maintain that feeling of superiority. So, if you ever find yourself dealing with a narcissist, remember that they might try to provoke you. The best defense? Stay cool, calm, and collected, and don't let their antics get to you. 10. Narcissists will resort to victim role-playing. When narcissists face someone who challenges or calls out on their behavior, they often resort to playing the victim. Suppose you're arguing with a narcissist. Instead of addressing the issue or taking responsibility for their actions, they might act like they're the ones who are being wronged or hurt. They're flipping the script to make it seem like they're in trouble. It can be frustrating because it takes the focus off the real issue and puts it on them and their supposed suffering. They might say things like, "You're always attacking me," or "I can't believe you're being so mean to me." It's a way to deflect attention away from their behavior and make you feel guilty or sorry for them. Exploring the fascinating world of narcissists, when they come face to face with a formidable opponent, has been quite a journey. We've uncovered 10 eye-opening behaviors that shed light on their not-so-charming ways. Narcissists might be challenging opponents, but understanding their tactics can help you navigate these tricky waters. Remember, knowledge is power, and the first step towards dealing with these self-absorbed characters. Be a strong opponent that narcissists can't win over.